Welcome back. We have another box opening video. We got two boxes from the land of the rising sun. Or as a toy collector, I like to say the land of the rising fun. Way too much toy shopping for too many years in Japan. But these days, not so many trips to Japan. We're going to work with this box first, and we'll work with this one, which has some vintage goodies, and I've actually forgot most of what's in this box. It's just been too long. This one kind of gets my goat, which I'm not sure where that phrase comes from. So this is an entire case filled of Beat-em-on. If you guys are unfamiliar with Beat-em-on, it's that 90s to 2000s Takara marble shooting little robots. I think it's supposed to be Bomberman actually, but in the US it became Beat-em-on. And I could be completely wrong on that. I'm not a big collector of these, but this is a shipping case completely full of, I think it's Blue Saber in the white box, which was a giveaway. And I picked this up because it's an entire case. And Beat-em-on is getting more collected. I mean, it's not been that long compared to other toy lines since it came out. It's still technically kind of being produced still, quasi. What gets me, though, is this is a completely unused case. Everything's unused inside. And the person was like, hey, man, I'll just put bubble wrap around it and everything should survive just fine. Like, no, it won't. But that's how people are, you know. Now that we're on dimensional weight for shipping boxes pretty much for the entire world now, every inch may save you a couple dollars, especially for international. And if you hit that threshold, it may jump up another 20 to 30. We've all had that before. So we got Battle Beat-em-on Zero. So let me get you a good clean shot. I even taped the box. I love shipping boxes. Okay, there we go. I paid roughly $600 for the entire box. There's 24 pieces in here. I couldn't find any correlating value of what these would sell for. And I was assuming a base price of $50 each, which would put me over nearing double the profit. But I think it's more of an investment figure to sit on. It looks like they came out pretty good, too. I was getting worried about that, as you saw with my little rant about the bubble wrap. But here we go. I don't know if they're tape sealed. Yeah, they're all tape sealed. I think the gentleman who sold this to me had one that was open. But they should be clear blue inside, and that makes them exclusive. And exclusive to Japan, of course, too. So I think these are a decent investment just to sit on if the future wills it. You know, nobody really knows how the future is going to hold. But I think it's very cool stuff. When you get exclusive items like this, especially in the US, which you'll never find these. And I think it's the time frame, too, where it's been like 10 years... plus where the stores in Japan would dig these out of their basements and attics would just put them on the market. And then a number of years later, they become more collectible and people come searching for them. They're not as easily available. You have to hit that right time, which is this exact time, where the stores are getting rid of the stuff because they need to make space. And that's the perfect time to get those discounts and those exclusive items like this. Granted, I could be completely wrong, and there could be cases and case these available online on the forums for Beat-em-on, and I just don't know. So I applied rule number 1, which is when in doubt, buy them out. So I was thinking about selling 1 or 2 off, but I might just keep it as is. I know there is a He-Man original in here. I appreciate the seller who sold the He-Man did display and mention the condition correctly, because when I saw the thumbnail, I was like, oh my god. Got all excited, and then I realized, you know, still a nice piece, but nothing to go bananas on. We got all the boxes placed in. Let's pull them all out. So I ordered it like this because I don't trust the company to wrap this stuff anymore. And the shipping... oh, look at that. They just drop kicked that puppy in the bottom. Thanks. The shipping companies have gotten a little bit cheaper with the availability of FedEx and DHL versus EMS from Japan. Huge difference. I mean, right off the bat, we have squashed in the bottom Machine Robo Bus, Basurobo. I have taken the bus a few times in Japan. I really didn't know what the hell was going on. Kanji is not a strong point for me, so I just have to like wing it. I stopped taking it after a while. It was cheaper. It was a little bit longer to get from Ikebukuro to Nakano. It's just more fun to take the train. So this piece was never released in Europe or in America. It was released in South America by Mimo for Brazil, but I'm not sure if that was a licensed piece. They usually run about $60 loose. I would say a box sample like this would be about $100 a quarter, $150, depending if it's unused, sticker sheet, and so forth. But it's one of the more neat machine robos. Not like a battle vehicle, but just more of a simple civilian vehicle. I mean, let's look at it this way. When did Transformers make a bus? Exactly. So I think it has a little charm to it. Double-decker bus. See how nice it is? Oh, got a little bit of wear, which I expected, but it's been a while since I looked at what I was purchasing. Hato Bus, which is a famous bus company in Japan. I like the little booklets they do. So it's an instruction booklet, but they have a little mini comic, and it's just him transforming. I feel bad for all the people on board. I don't think they're going to survive the transformation. You know, some of these transformations are very violent. No paperwork other than the instruction, no styrofoam top, so about $100 a quarter. I think this is the He-Man. Thank you for wrapping it beautifully, whoever you are. I am very pissy, if you've been watching my videos, about people wrapping. That's why I can't trust the company who takes the boxes in anymore, because they just handle it horribly. So this person, even though the item was not sealed, it is a wonderful 8-back, and it's a decent wrapping job. Look at that. So I can't complain too much because I like the paperwork involved. But being that it's not sealed in the card, I can't go too upsettingly crazy. But it's a Takara, dual language, so it should be a European piece. He-Man. Package is in amazing shape. Here it is opened. The bubble is cracked pretty badly on the side, but I think that's maybe how it was opened. So I knew it was opened, but I thought the bubble was fully detached. But overall, it's completely mid-figure. Displays beautifully. 8-back, other than the rip there. Oh, I can't believe they do these things. So I did pay a fair amount of money for this piece. So when the guy was bubble wrapping this for me, which I thought was a pretty fair job, especially since I knew there was damage already and the figure was off the card. But he started the bubble wrap by taping the card first and then the bubble. And I had to cut that. And it's not going to be fun to remove that because the paper on this is not that laminated and it's very easy to rip. Thankfully, it's fresh versus, you know, but it'll work out. So I'm not sure what this will go for. I mean, if it was fully sealed, we're talking buku dollars. But being that you can probably slide the figure out, not so much. But overall, very happy to get one. It's been a while. I sold off my personal 8-back He-Man many years ago that I bought in Japan. I've mentioned the story before, but the first time I ever went to Japan, I went to the Superfest show in Tokyo, and it's their largest toy show. It's been going on for many, many years, but it was around 2006, I believe. I went with my brother and walked around the show, had a great time, you know, but you're still getting your feet wet, so you're still amazed over everything and anything about Japan. You just fall in love with it until, you know, your honeymoon phase is over. And I remember walking around and a seller had all 8-back He-Mans with Takara stickers in the back, US cards, in a box, no protection, under the table. And we said, I go, sumimasen, like, ikura desu ka? You know, it's like the basic chopped up version of how much is this. And the guy was like, I think they were $20 a piece. And I just said, well, I'll buy the He-Man. Because you're also getting stuff back home. You're not used to how to ship things. I wasn't loaded with money. You weren't sure how you know, it's like a real trip versus like a toy focus trip. It's my first time being there. So all I bought was that He-Man, which I think I later sold for $800 many years ago, which now, of course, was stupid, but I really don't know. So this will be slightly fun here to figure out what is going on. Sometimes I leave these boxes in a corner because just work, family, it takes up so much time. And then you slowly go, oh, I need to get to that box. And you're like, oh, what was in that thing again? But yeah, looking back at the current bills, let's just say I think I may have to let go of that He-Man. But maybe there's something in here for my collection that I'm excited about. This is interesting. It's not worth too much, but I picked it up just a flip piece. At least it was somewhat wrapped nicely. A Herbert Mego, which, thanks, dude. So here's my financial loss. It's been opened, and the seller never explained that portion. And this is an issue with Japan in general. They don't understand carded figures open sealed, and they're getting there. I mean, there's a number of stores now that completely understand this, like Mandarake in Japan, the big complex of collectible stores. For many years, not recently, of course, would cut the tape of sealed toys just to confirm that it was complete, because in the mentality of the collector there, it would be more important to have a complete unused toy than just tape. There are times I go to Japan and I'll see mainly carded Star Wars 12 backs, the Takara sticker on them, and they'll still want like $800 for a complete detached bubble. And you can't explain to them like it's over. You can't command that dollar value. I can't really get upset with the poor guy who did this to me, because he just doesn't have that mindset that we do. I mean, even if you go back years ago, you'll see all the UPC cuts, other issues on carded figures, again, mainly Star Wars, where even if a person wanted to preserve it for value or just display for the future, never would have predicted such things of like lifting a little bit to pull the figure out, cutting up the card a little bit, would make such drastic value differences. But I'm going to hope to get my money back. I only put about 150 into it. I think I'll be fine, but it's just one of those, oh, it is what it is. Rule number 1 still applies. When in doubt, buy them out, because if you're wrong, you'll get your money back. Well, we'll see on that. I'm not an expert on Mego. This box, no idea, but it says, "You're our philosophy." So that's creepy and adorable, as well as all the adorable stickers on it from the stamps. Let's see what's in here. Oh, it's not like I survived. 4 items. Oh my god, what is in here? My brain actually is scrambling through, like, what did I order? Oh, it is a Star Wars 12-back. And it was nicely wrapped. And they had it in a star case. So that's nice. I'd have no idea who it is. I don't remember. And I'm hoping it's still sealed in the card, and we're not going to have the same issue that we had before with the Mr. Fantastic, which didn't turn out to be that fantastic. So we have a Stormtrooper. I somehow have been acquiring an army of Takara Stormtroopers. Non-variant, though. Got a star case. It's a little bit faded on the figure, which is not a good thing, but it's not atrocious, but it's not the worst. It is a 1C. To put on the He-Man. So a good crease down the middle that could flatten out in a proper case. Bubbles in clean shape. It's still fully sealed, which has been the current worry for a lot of things. But overall, not too terrible. I'm not sure. People get turned off by the Takara sticker, even though it's on a US card. But flattened out should be at least 1,000, because it still displays pretty well. Rather than the sticker rip. Maybe a bit less now. We'll see how it goes. But overall, not bad. Some nice vintage carded figures. And some beat 'em on thrown in the mix.